Okay. What's the next pillar of Salah? Inside the Salah, what do you reckon? What's after your Qiyam? Ruku. The next fard is Ruku. We're going to do the fara'id, yeah? Ruku. Shall we start with Ruku? What is Ruku? Ruku means to bow down. Okay? Ruku in the language is just to bow down. Could be just with the head or could be a bit more. But for Salah in Sharia, it means to bow down with your head and your back. Until, with a difference of opinion, I will cover it shortly. And if you are standing, you bow down until your head and your back are leveled. Okay? That's the most beloved ruku. Okay? All the way proper. But a ruku should be, a minimum of ruku is to go down enough for the hands to reach your knees. Okay? If your hand goes on your knees, that's you have gone down enough for the fard of ruku. Even if you weren't leveled with your back and neck. Yeah? In some cultures, you know, like when you were young, people, there was in schools, they will have a magic show. A person will come and do his thing and then he will just bow down his head. They will do little act and they will just bow down their head. Astaghfirullah. People did that. That ruku is not sufficient. That's not what is meant by ruku. Has to be a proper ruku, okay? Holding the knees is mustahab. What if someone did a proper ruku, but he didn't hold his knees and his hand was just hanging? Then his ruku is still done. The fard is done. It is like that he should hold his knees. He should hold his knees during ruku. But it doesn't invalidate his ruku if he did it. He should spread out his fingers, hold his knees, and for men, he should take his elbows out, not keep his elbows close to side. But women, they should keep their elbows, they should keep themselves compact, where men, they should be putting all their force on their, on their knees and have their elbows out, and they should be more spread out. Okay? Is there a difference in ruku of a man and woman? Okay? Most of the fuqaha, they say there is no difference in the salah of men and women, except the Hanaf. Okay? In some other madhahib, some view, but mainly Ahnaf, they say women's salah, like Imam Shafi say men's salah, women's salah exactly same. Ahnaf say no, there are differences. So the ruku of men and women for Shafi is exactly same. But the ruku of men and women for Ahnaf is slightly different. It might be worth, because as we go through each rukun, there will be differences in salah from Ahnaf to the other madhahib. If I give you maybe around I think about 10 things which differentiate men's salah from women's salah, then we can do that for our lesson today, and that should be and then we'll continue with ruku, because ruku is the first, well, not the first thing, but I will list everything where men and women their salah differs, and then when we inshallah do the other rukuns, we don't have to mention them. Yeah, and then you will have them, otherwise I fear you won't ever gather them. Yeah. So the Ahnaf, they say that women need to be more covering in their salah. Now, there are madhahib, they take a hadith, if they accept it, they apply it for both men and women. Okay? And there are hadith, for example, I'll start from the first one. There is a hadith you can find to raise your hand up to your shoulder when you do takbir lula. Oh yeah? And then you can find next to your ears. Ahnaf say for a man, he should do up to his ears. And women, it is more astar, it is more covering for her to not raise her hand, but rather just do up to her shoulder. So that's the first difference. In the takbir al-ula, man will go, you open his arm like this, and woman, she'll just go like this. Yeah? Other madhahib, all men, women do like this. Or like that, doesn't matter. The Ahnaf, they differentiate. That's the first one. Men raise their hand to ears, and women, they raise their hand to shoulders. Number one. Done? Am I going fast? Zaid, am I going too fast? No? Okay. Secondly, men, and all of that is based on the fact that it is more covering for women to do in a certain way. So now the men, they hold their arms in salah under the navel. Okay? And for women, they hold them in chest, not like that, but just like they cover themselves. So women, the hands on chest, and the men, hands under the navel. That's the second difference. The third difference is what's our subject today, the ruku. The men should bow down until, their back and their head, they are leveled together straight. Yeah, they bow. But the women, they only bend down a little bit until they can just reach, and they can just reach their knees. All right? What number was this? Number 3. Yeah? So we did raising the hands, we did under the navel holding, and then we did ruku, the back. Also in ruku, that's number 4. They say the men should hold their knees fully and grab them with the fingers spread out, okay? And the legs should be straight. For women, they say she just reach out to her knees, she doesn't have to open her hand. Reach out to her knees, and her legs shouldn't be fully straight, slightly bent. It is more covering for her that way. Okay, she shouldn't bend down like a man. And when she holding her knees, she shouldn't really be applying pressure on the knees, just reaching out to it, where the man will be holding his knees fully. Yeah. So that was 4 and 5. Firstly, the legs, men legs should be straight, women legs should be slightly bent. And the men to apply pressure on the knees and hold it firmly with the elbows out, and the women just reaching out to their knees with their hands just not open, just straight down. And what have we done so far? We did takbir. We did where we tie the hands.
Why you should hold your arms?
And then in ruku, your head and back. Number 4, your legs should be straight or bent.
Yeah.
Number 5, your elbows to be spread out, okay, for men, and the women to keep them near their side. That should be number 5, okay. Someone say that to me again. I feel like I've missed something out.
Women should be more covering. Men should raise their hands here.
Okay, so men raise the hand, women don't fully.
Hand placement.
Your hand placement, navel or chest, yeah.
How far down do you go?
Yeah.
the back
Back straight.
fully with the head level, and the women they don't do that.
The elbows on the knees. Is the leg straight or not?
So legs straight is one,
Yeah.
elbows out
Yeah.
is one, and the women and applying pressure on the knees is one. Okay, so how many is that?
That's 6.
That's 6. Okay. All right. Number 7. Sujood. Men, they keep their stomach away from their thighs, so they are more raised. Women, their stomach is hitting their thighs, and their thighs are not raised. Okay? That's stomach away from thighs, and then next one is woman stomach attached to thighs. What number is that?
That was 7.
Number 7. Okay. For men, the elbows should be raised and the wrist raised from the ground in sajda. Okay? But for women, they say the elbows and the wrist should be on the floor. Who said that? Who said that? The Hanaf said that. Yeah.
This is all Ahnaf because all the other madhab say the Salah is the same.
Mostly. If there is different, I'll cover a bit later, but I just want to, that's the main madhab with the differences. Okay, next one. Number 9.
7, 8, 9, yeah.
In sajda, men, they raise their feet, so their toes are on the floor facing the qibla, yeah, and the feet are standing. The feet are standing upright. Where women, their feet are on the side. They are like sitting with the feet, both of them on the side. They are unraised towards the side. Number 10, men, when they get up from sajda, when they sit in tashahhud, they sit on their left foot. They sit on their left foot, and the right foot is raised upright with the fingers facing the qibla. That's the preferred position for men if they can. For women, they sit on the floor, the buttocks on the floor, and both legs are, the feet are facing the sides. Okay? You see brothers sitting like that in other madhab, Shafi'i madhab, men sit like that, you see them all the time. We'll stop at this 10, that's everything. It may be a little bit unusual for some people to hear that women should put their elbows and wrist on the floor. So basically, when they're sitting, their buttocks on the ground, the feet are, the stomach's on the thigh, and they're fully on the ground. This is based on one hadith. Okay. This hadith is a mursal hadith. There are a few hadith similar, they are da'if. This one is a mursal hadith which says Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam passed by 2 women who were praying. So he said, إِذَا سَجَدْتُمَا فَضَمَّا بَعْضَ اللَّحْمِ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ فإن المرأة ليس وليست في ذلك كالرجل. إن المرأة ليست في ذلك كالرجل. This is Abu Dawood has narrated it in his Marasil, the Mursala hadith, and also Bayhaqi has narrated it. I have told you before that Mursal hadith is considered a da'if hadith in all the madhahib, but Ahnaf do take fiqh from the Mursal hadith, and they consider it sometime to be acceptable. And this is one of those hadith. Okay? The others, therefore, they say there is no proof for that. Because the proof which is there, it is not good enough for them to use in their fiqh. Mursal hadith is where a tabi'i has narrated from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam without mentioning a sahabi in this case. There are different, sometimes tabi'i is narrating from a tabi'i. And the tabi'i who has narrated this is from the sigar, he is not from the kibar of tabi'in. So others are not willing to take this hadith at all. Where Ahnaf, they do take this hadith. Okay, and they also say women are supposed to wear a big jilbab and a big cover herself fully. So what difference does it make if she prays like a man, if she is fully covered? Yeah, clear. So now we'll continue with our chapter of ruku. In the beginning, I got this difference would then come in every. So maybe having a list is good for you. The difference between man and woman in Hanafi Madhab.